Hello, welcome to Conversations with Neuvias. My name is Carol. Today we have the lovely Marge,
Hello.
and we also have the lovely Lynn with us today.
Yay, face to face.
Yes. So we haven't been on in a while, and it's okay. We've had a lot going on with Mercury retrograding and just trying to clear some energy. So I think we're all coming to a good place. And so,
Yes,
with that being said, we are talking today about planting intentions. So I think it'll be a good podcast.
I think so too.
Yeah, with specifically where our energy is coming from. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So, planning intentions, and I'll just give you a little history on that. It's just basically we're talking about just setting your intention, watching it grow, just like a plant. You know, when you start a plant from seed to having it growing, and so you start nurturing it, you start taking care of it, and you start, I guess, kind of also creating it to help it grow, and tending to it constantly. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just kind of a analogy of what we're trying to talk about today.
Right. And you've got the long-term intentions and you've got the short-term intentions. Sometimes it's day to day, right? You have to tend to it every day, but sometimes it's a long and drawn-out process too. It depends on what you're setting for your intention.
Yes, but the key point to that is just continuously to tend to it to grow. You know, and
Yeah.
when you think about planning intentions too, you've got to make sure that you already see that in existence versus like, well, I don't know if it's going to grow or not. So if you see your plant already, or your ideas or whatever it is that you're trying to grow, see it already in existence, because that way you're putting that intention, you're setting it into motion. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you can start seeing the results and act, and start acting towards that too.
yes,
It all comes into alignment.
yeah, no, it does. It all comes full circle. So um, I want to throw some examples and some key points. So we'll start just like we're starting with planning. So you start with your seed and your soil, right? That's going to be our first step to planting these intentions. So, you know, you have to, like you said, get your ideas, your beliefs, the environment, make sure you're in a good energy and environment, because it does help, um, help with nurturing what it is that you're trying to put out there to the universe. So,
Right. Yeah, it does.
yes. So, one way you can do that, which I'm sure Marjo and Lynn will agree with, is setting that I am intention. You know, I am wealthy, I am loved. You know, if you start setting those intentions out there to the universe and pretty much self care and self nurturing yourself, then that truly helps it plant further develop into plant going faster.
Yeah, it's like fertilizer.
Fertilizer,
You got me
exactly.
on the gardening kick when you talked about planting the seed, and you know I'm a gardener. And you plant your seed into the richest gardening soil you can, so it will grow best for that particular thing. And so if you're planting a seed of intention, like Carol said, you want to make sure you've got a good foundation for it to grow in.
Yes. Lynn, do you want to add anything to our setting that intention, since we're starting off with the seed and the growth?
Yeah, I do agree. Like setting your intention is like preparing the soil before planting a seed. So when the soil is nurtured and cared for, the seed has the best chance to grow. In the same way, when we begin our day with a clear intention, it creates a right environment for our thoughts, our actions, and our goals to flourish despite, life challenges.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just those tiny consistent steps that we're all talking about here, just aligning those with that intention is truly going to help you get that momentum going and that change in your thinking process moving forward. So,
Right. And then
Yeah,
it takes small steps from there, right? After you've set that intention, you're going to start noticing because you set the intention and you've made the vision, you're not going to plant a garden without deciding what plants you're going to plant, right? And
absolutely.
envisioning how it's going to look in the end. So we're just going to go with that analogy, Carol, since you said it.
Yeah,
But you visualize the final garden before you start planting it. And so you want to do the same with intentions. You visualize a new job or a new car or a healthier body or an activity that you want to do at some point, and you visualize that, and then you plant seeds towards it. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I'm, the things that people say all the time.
right.
And setting an intention towards that with the visualization, you'll see yourself automatically making steps towards those goals.
No, I agree, Marge. It's kind of like also starting a project. Even though we started with the planting the seed, when you start a project, you already have an idea or a vision of what you're going to do. You're not just going to go side eyed and go, let's just do this, let's see what it goes, because then your project's not going to come out the best.
Right?
So you have to have a visualization of what it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. It's just like asking for directions somewhere. You have to know where you're going to get
Hmm.
there. You
Yeah.
can't get there if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. It's like clear direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. One way to do that too is you're going to have to trust yourself, and you're going to have to surrender yourself to letting it go and letting it be, because
Yeah.
when you're planting that seed, you don't want to force that outcome, because it might not come out as you anticipated, and then you're going to have to start all over. So
Mm-hmm.
like we said, starting the garden, if you're constantly watering your plant, it's going to be too much water, and it's just going to die on you before it even gets started. So
Yep.
you have to stay patient with it. You have to nurture it. Just baby steps. And unfortunately, a lot of us, I know me for my
Want
personal,
it now.
yeah, exactly. Come on, let's do this already. It'll be done. But life doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. So
Yep.
you just have to let it subdue that growth and stuff. So
Yeah, and anything worth getting is worth working for and
yeah.
being patient with and making those changes that you need to make to get to that point.
Hmm. I know it's kind of hard. It is. I will tell you from my, because I'm like now, but over time those intentions help us with new habits, new pathways that start to open. Because when, like March said, if you're planting a plant, and birds love to come sometimes and drop their own seeds, and next thing you know, you're having something else grow there. So those opportunities, I guess, could come up with something else, and think, oh, I thought I was planting a banana plant, but here comes some, I don't know, palm tree plant.
Tomatoes are
Yeah, or it's just throwing that out there. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think one thing that people don't really understand is when you set an intention, if you can be very as specific as you like, but you don't want to get into the weeds too much with how you want it to happen, right? You
Right.
want it that you want it to happen. Not what direction you got to take. You don't plan the whole thing because then you don't really need to you're spending too much planning it and not doing it.
Oh yeah. And sometimes you doubt yourself too when you're trying to plant something, like, well, I don't know if it's going to grow right for me, or I don't even know if this plant's really going to grow. I'm not a really have a green thumb, or whatever, if you continually second guessing yourself with what you're trying to do, it's never going to happen, like Marge said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do y'all think planning intention set sparks in your daily routines?
I I tend to set an intention for the week, not necessarily. I do have long-term goals, of course. I think everybody does, but I'm focused more on where I am and getting to the next step as opposed to 6 months down the road or 10 years down the road. And it does kind of, if you think about it in the morning, I do a morning ritual where I'm like, okay, who do I want to be today,
Right.
and where do I want to go, and and I kind of sit with that a little bit and put that into the attention of the day. I also do signs and synchronicities in the mornings, which is fun. And it's kind of along the same road, but it's a little bit different. So, but planning that intention sets you on the path. It's like taking the first step of a run. If you're a jogger or a runner, taking those first few steps, getting your shoes on, getting out the door and getting to where you're going to run.
Yeah.
It's the setup, right?
Hmm.
And if you do that in the morning, sometimes you'll be surprised at where it leads you.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree with that, Marge. What about you, Lynn? What do you think sets your daily routines and planning intentions?
Like when I set my intention, I try to be specific as possible because like vague intentions are hard to act on. Like instead of saying I want to be happier today, so I try saying today I'll smile and greet, every person I meet or every person I encounter, like that. So those specific actions give your mind a clear direction and make it easier to follow through. So it's like using a GPS. You just don't type somewhere nice, but you enter
Right.
the exact destination. So the clearer your intention, the easier it is to align with your thoughts, your decisions, and actions with the outcome you want.
Perfectly said.
No, for sure. Even um, words, and I think we've expressed this 1,000 times on so many podcasts. Words expressed a lot. Like whatever you say speaks a lot. So if you're saying, like we talked about the I am present, since we were talking about setting intentions, if you're doing that I am, lovable and saying, or, I am worthy of something, you're not going to say, I will do, or just doing saying and speaking in two different terms is what I'm kind of insinuating. So you're just trying to align your mind with that outcome that you're trying to get, which so you're not fighting that inner resistance or that second guessing yourself, like I was talking about earlier. So you're not going to say, I will get this done tomorrow. You're going to, I am getting this done today. So that's kind of how you can see that too when you're setting those daily routines, um, d- doing them daily on your day to day. So basically you start changing your mindset. So
Yep. And it changes your actions automatically.
yes, yes, because the way you speak to yourself is exactly what you're putting out there to the universe. So
Right?
yeah. So with that being said, how can one practicing planning intentions, there's we can do them in different steps, like I think Marge has said a lot of times, and so is Lynn. But you can pause for that 60 seconds if you're feeling frustrated, in the morning, because let's just say you get up, your car doesn't start, you can't go to work, and so you're already getting into frustration mode. Just take a step back, breathe that, take that quick 60 seconds. Each morning, if you have to, you just breathe and you know know that what your surroundings, your awareness is what you're putting off and setting it out. Things are not going to be perfect every day, and we truly all get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Definitely. It
yeah.
wouldn't be an interesting life if everything went smoothly all the time.
Hmm.
You got to shake it up a little, have some variety.
Yeah. So, and yes, we're always saying keep it positive, but once you start keeping it positive and putting that concrete in your mindset, then life becomes so much easier. I'm
It
not saying
does.
yeah, it's not going to be, but it does become much easier when you're creating a positive outlook, even on the worst situation possible. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking for the silver lining on things is really helpful. I put a post on our website about a car accident that I had last year, and all the positive things that came out of that car accident. And it was just a different way of looking at it, even at the moment.
Hmm.
It's like, wow, that is really cool that I was able to do that. And that's because I was practicing constantly, focusing and doing the breath work and keeping a more positive mindset and understanding that even things that are negative
Hmm.
aren't necessarily negative in the long run.
No, they really aren't. I think things that happen to us on our daily just makes us grow stronger sometimes as a person. Like, unfortunately, like you said, everything's not just crisp and gold and just we're in a perfect la world, which would be nice, but that's not how life is and operates.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
learning to appreciate the tragedies or the misfortunes that you might experience.
yes.
It's challenging, right?
Yeah. It really is. You know, that's kind of like why I was talking when we first started, why we haven't really truly had our podcast going because we've just had so many hustles and bustles going on,
Yeah,
each and every one of us. So, and it's okay. You know, those are all, like we said, learning curves for us, and it helps us grow stronger as we're moving forward.
absolutely. Yep.
So, in what ways can stating intentions in the present tense influence your mindset or your behavior? Anybody could answer that, I guess.
Yeah. In what way do they influence our behavior?
Yeah.
I think that setting that intention makes you mindful of it. It brings it to the front of your mind first thing in the morning. If you're doing this, you should be setting the intention, reminding yourself of your intention every morning. And it puts it in the front of your mind so you can behave more towards that. And remind yourself throughout the day, oh, yeah, especially if things go a little crazy during the day, like Carol said, your car doesn't start, or you stub your toe, or can't find your keys, or whatever. and and after you get through that, then you remind yourself of your intention so that you can get back on track and say, I promised myself, like and said, I was going to greet everyone that I saw today with a smile and get back into that so it's in the front of your mind.
Oh no, I agree. I even with Marge, when you're thinking about too, if you reset your mindset and realize that outcome, like you said, when we get up in the morning, we're not already thinking like, oh my god, I don't know where my keys are, or we're not like, oh my god, my car's flat, you know, or just we're just using those as examples, but
Right.
you know, if you're already, and I would like to think all of us do this. Like when you're getting up in the morning, you're ready to go, start your day, and you go out, and then you know your outcome is already in that positive mindset. Like, okay, I'm gonna have a good day. My life's going good. Like life's gonna be great. And then you go outside, and then your tire's flat.
Yep.
And so, you
Yeah.
know, those internal resistance and those doubts begin to surface, and you're like, oh my gosh, now it's going to be a horrible day because this happened, you know, X, Y, and Z happened this morning. And so,
Yep.
if that's the mindset that you continue to happen throughout the day, that's everything's just going to go haywire for you.
It's good. It just pulls it right to you. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yes. And so you want to refocus that, even though that little minute little happened to you in that moment, you know, just remember, try to get clear yourself of that. You know, it's not the end of the world. Nothing's going to be harmed, but just trying to refigure your mindset into like, okay, I got this. I can handle this. Let's move forward.
Yep.
Just like talking to your plant, you know, as you're seeding it and it's growing. You're people. I know people look at you funny when you're talking to plants, but plants actually listen. You know,
They
Mother
do.
Nature listens. Trees listen, and so that's just an example of helping it grow as well.
Yeah. Just because we can't see them paying attention, they're paying attention.
Yes. What about you, Lynn? What present tense influences your mindset or behavior?
One thing I've noticed is that setting an intention really affects how I behave because it changes the way I approach situations. So for instance, if I set an intention in the morning to be more patient,
Hmm.
then I become like more mindful of how I respond when things don't go my way.
Yeah.
Like instead of getting immediately getting upset, frustrated, I remind myself of the intention I chose, and I try to handle situation differently. So it doesn't it doesn't mean I won't have bad moments, bad days, but it helps me become like more aware and more. intentional with my actions.
Yeah.
Makes good sense. Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. I still agree with that too, Lynn. So, I do want to ask you on one thing. So let's just say, throwing an example out here, is saying I'm broke all the time a form of planting an intention?
It sure is.
Yeah. I cannot stand when people say, "Oh, I'm so broke, I can't go do that," or "I am so broke, I this," you know. When you're constantly saying that over and over and over in your life, like life's just universe is listening, and that's
Oh,
the
you want that, huh?
yeah.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that negative intention, and I hear it from so many people, just driving me so nuts. I
Yeah,
have to like, no, you're not broke. No, you're not broke. Quit telling yourself that.
right?
Um, because yeah, that expectation is what you're putting out there. That intention is what you're putting out there, and that's why I constantly will tell you that your wording speaks a thousand things. You might not think it does, but it truly does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it sure does.
yes.
Yeah.
With that
Also,
said,
like,
oh, go ahead, Mark. Lynn, I'm sorry.
yeah. It's also like training yourself to see the positive side always. Because if you do it like that, then you will see more of your blessings, not just the wrong ones or the bad days, the bad moments. So it will help you, be more positive, be more um like intentional of what you really want. You really want, like, accepting that life has really challenges. It does have, it will always have challenges, but if you see, like, the value of it, like the learnings that you get from it, then life will become, more
Yeah,
easy, more positive, more easy, more
good point. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, because if you really think about it, too, it focus when you're saying the broke part of that. It also focuses your attention on lacking, making
yeah,
you notice like your short outcomes or shortages, and
Mm-hmm.
also missed opportunities in your life. And so you have to quit saying that because, like I said, that's if that's the emotion you're putting out there, that's exactly what the universe is going to give you.
Yeah.
So
Well, what you think about is what you see. What you focus on is what you see. And it doesn't matter what's really there.
right.
Doesn't matter. You're going to see what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I do not put weed killer on my yard. I love all the weeds. They're so pretty. Different colors of flowers coming up if I don't mow, different animals, different bugs, all this stuff. And because I don't put any poisons on my yard or do too much with it, I have all this crazy wildlife in my yard. And some of my neighbors will be like, "You got all these weeds." And I'm like, "Yeah, aren't they beautiful?" They're beautiful. I don't have to do anything, and I've got all this beauty here
Yeah.
because I didn't have to do anything. But in some people's mindset, it's like, oh, it should all be, blue, whatever the grass is called, tall fescue or whatever. No, this variety is what it's all about. And to me, it's beautiful to have violets all over my yard in the spring because it's gorgeous. Looks like somebody just sprinkled them out there because they did, right?
Yes.
But if I just saw weeds, it would be like horrible for me. But I don't see weeds. I see beautiful green things. It's just a mindset.
yeah,
Yeah. And then what you perceive as beautiful, Marge, I know other people might not perceive it as beautiful, but you know, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Not everybody's gonna agree,
right.
with everything that we do in life, and it's okay. Agree to disagree. That's what I always say.
That's right. Well, when
Smile
you're
and
talking
wave.
about the broke part, Carol, let's do that again. I like that.
The smile and wave.
You must have practiced that one. I can't do it as nicely. When you were talking about the broke thing, there are some people that would find money and say it's not enough. But it wasn't yours to begin with. Why would it not be enough? And there are people that are, even if they won the lottery, they wouldn't be happy, you know,
Oh
because it
yeah,
still wouldn't be enough. Now they have to pay taxes on it. Now they're going to be all upset about it.
yeah. And all the relatives come out of the woodwork that you didn't even know existed when
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
the
True.
lottery. But yeah, so instead of saying like I'm broke, why can't they say something like, I'm open to new income. Hey, I'm open to money flow in my direction. Like that's a
Yeah.
whole different. You see the whole different persona when you're even just speaking it out. It's a whole different energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we talked a lot, was it last week? I think it was last week or the week before, podcast before. We talked about contracting energies and expanding energies. And if
Mhm.
it makes you expand because it's like, hey, I'm open for it, that's a good thing for you. If it's like, I don't have enough, you're going to be like holding on to everything. So open up as much as you can.
Yes. No, I agree. I so agree with that.
I'm sure it's challenging for a lot of people to figure out how to put their thoughts and switch them to the more positive side of it. Because it could be the same thought, same kind of thought, but if you switch it to the positive, it's going to change everything, your outlook on everything.
No, for sure. And people don't think, and it's that simple, but people don't think so. People are
Yeah,
so hard on themselves. We are our worst enemy, unfortunately, and it's sad to say that, but
it is.
yeah. Another one too that I want to tell you, how about when people say, I hate my career, I hate my life, I hate being single, like just if that's the stuff that you continuously tell yourself. Like I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I hate my career. I don't like where I'm at."
Right.
Then you can always change that. If it's so dreadful for you to go to work every day, because I've been there. I'm sure many of us have been there where you dreaded going to work and
Yep.
you just despised it. So if you are repeatedly saying that every day, or oh my god, I don't even want to go to work today, I just want to stay home and do nothing, just remember to shift that identity of yourself, of what you're putting out there. Start telling yourself, I am worthy of a beautiful career daily when you're going to your job that you despise. And I can tell you, opportunities will open up that you just didn't expect at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Lynn? Were you going to add to that? Should, I
Nothing
didn't
to
hear.
your.
Oh, did we even add to that, Lynn? I'm sorry.
And no.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. So yeah, it's just that when I hear that from people all the time, it just drives me insane. Like, if you hate your career so much, then change that mentality.
Yeah.
Just change it.
I
That
remember
means you're.
asking a coworker one time because he was complaining, always complaining, like you were just saying, complain, complain, complain at work about the job. And one day I got tired of it and I said, "So how's the job coming?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, why would you stay if you're that unhappy? Go find a job that you're going to like better." Or maybe just don't like to be happy. Some people don't feel like they deserve to be happy.
Yeah. But sometimes you need to, you know, take risk. Like it's hard, when you're like, oh, I can't do this. And then
Yeah.
I'm speaking here, but I'm also speaking to myself when I say this. Taking risk. Yes, it's risky, but who knows? There's doors that may open for you when you start to take risk that you didn't think, would have worked. I can tell you when I can't where I worked out when I started there. I had unfortunately some people had to be let go, but they've got the most perfect job that they've ever wanted, and it's things like that that just work out.
Right.
Your paths open up to other possibilities. And I
Yep.
know I hate this job. I hate this job, but I mean, it's just like I said, just changing that mindset. Enjoying. I enjoy my life. I
Hmm.
enjoy work. I enjoy being single, or whatever it is that you're trying to create out there.
Absolutely.
You don't
Yep.
want your plant, like I was going to say earlier, starting to wilt over because it's feeling the energy or the frustration in our words as we're talking to it or wherever. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes.
It reminds me of there's a story about a story that I've read about two wolves, a wolf that's a mean wolf and a wolf that's a good wolf,
Hmm.
I think. I'll just make it up because I don't know exactly the story. But which one are you going to feed? Are you going to feed the happy wolf or are you going to feed the one that wants to bite you? You're not going to feed the one that wants to bite you. You're not going to feed the snake and that would bite you, right? So
Right.
you want to feed the happier, more positive energy in your life. And you start that by setting an intention to do that.
Yes. I would say yeah. I would definitely feed that dire, the happier dire wolf, so he could fight the meaner dire
Yeah.
wolf.
Right.
You have him on your side, then it's okay.
Yep. That's right.
But anyways, so I think with us all here, three of us talking about planning those intentions today, I think we are hopefully opening up or giving even people some feedback on changing their mindset. Planning their plan, letting it grow, watch it grow, watching your life being nurtured. So,
Hmm.
I don't think I have anything else to add to this today, Marge, or this evening. Do you have anything, or Lynn, you'd like to add?
I do. Do you have something, Lynn? You want to start?
Okay. Like at the I just want to say this that at the end of the day, setting an intention is really about becoming more aware of how we want to show up in our lives. Like we can control everything that happens around us, but we can choose the attitude, the energy, and actions we bring into every situation that we face. So just like nurturing the soil, um, helps a seed grow. So nurturing our mindset and intentions help us grow into better versions of ourselves. So every day gives us a chance to plant new seeds through our choices, our words, and our actions. And over time, those small intentional steps create meaningful change.
Absolutely. And the more you nurture that, the more you see that it works. And so you're just going to do it more and more. That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's yours, and those opportunities start coming through when you start changing your mindset. I mean, and after everything's all said and done, like your life becomes just so much easier. You're not stressing yourself or worrying yourself about things that just didn't go your way. It's okay if they didn't. You
Right?
you learn to just let it go and move onward. So
Yep. Absolutely.
yeah. Well, my name is Carol. You can visit us at www.neuvias.com, and as always,
Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And appreciate you having been with us today.
yes, perfect. All right, much love and light. Till next time.
Love y'all. Bye bye.
Bye.